Hello students, welcome to this video. So in this video we are going to see about the armature windings. Normally the three-phase alternators carry three sets of windings R by B, and they are arranged in the slots open circuited so that we will be having six terminals, and using those six terminals we can connect the armature windings either as star or delta depending upon the voltage rating and the power rating of the machine. We can choose the connection like star or delta. So the armature windings can be classified into single layer or double layer windings. This is one type of classification. The another one will be the full pitch or the short pitch windings. This is another type of classification. The third one will be the concentrated or the distributed windings. So the armature windings can be classified into these broad classifications. So we will be seeing one by one what are all these classifications are mean, and what are all the differences between these classifications, and how to select armature winding. So the first will be the single layer or double layer winding. Single layer winding is going to be situated like this. So one coil per one coil set per slot. So here you will be having a coil, and the other coil the another coil side of that particular coil will be on the another slot. So one coil set per one slot. So this kind of winding structures are going to be used only in small kind of AC machines. So the next will be the double layer windings. Two coil sides are the two layers per slot. So there may be one coil side of a coil will be on one particular side of a double layer winding, and another will be on the bottom side. So if the winding will be started in top layer and it will be finished in bottom layer, and on the other hand you may be having the finishing of that particular pole on the top bottom layer to the top layer. So the double layer windings are more commonly used above the 5 kilowatt machines. The advantages over this particular double layer windings over the single layer windings are listed below. They are easier to manufacture and low cost. And the fractional slot winding can be used. That is, we can use these kind of machines within fractional slots. Fractional slots means we can leave some of the slots as an open, so that we will be having the slots per pole as fractional one. So moreover, whenever we are going for a design, the slot per pole per phase will always it is an particular ratio which is always is going to be an whole number, a real number. If it is going to be a fractional number, then that is going to be called as the fraction slot winding, and this can be used in the double layer winding structures. So the next will be the carded windings is also possible. Carded winding means the slot one pole pitch will be a benchmark for any type of windings whichever we are using. So one pole pitch is going to be length of 180 degrees. So the calculation of the this particular angle is based upon the phase spread whichever we are using. So based upon that particular angle, we will be winding any type of winding as a single pole pitch. But if it is going to be a machine with an unstandard or a greater type of voltage ratings, we can go for the carded windings too. So those kind of carded windings is also possible in case of double layer windings. Lower leakage reactance can will be possible in case of double layer winding when we are comparing with the single layer windings. So the better performance can be achieved, and the better EMF wave is also possible the EMF wave will be more or less equal to the sine wave. That is to be achieved in the double layer windings. So here the coil span or the coil pitch is going to be the pole pitch is it is a distance between the centers of the pole faces. That is this is the pole face, this is the north pole, and this is the south pole. This is the center of the pole faces. The distance between the centers of the pole faces of the two adjacent poles is called as the pole pitch. So normally the coil span will be equal to this particular pole pitch. So the pole pitch can be calculated as the total number of slats in the armature divided by the number of poles. So whenever we are having the number of poles, so the number of poles will be chosen like in a even number. So if the number of poles are going to be in even number, the total number of slats to be also in even number, so that the particular pole pitch whichever we are having, that coil span is going to be an even number. So that can be a whole number. So whenever we are having that particular whole number, we can have the coil span as an whole number, so that we can have the full fractional windings. So if it is going to be not going to be like that, then we will be going with the fractional slot windings. So depending upon the design and the need of the voltage, we will be choosing those kind of winding factors. So the pole pitch, which is always is going to be 180-degree phase angle. So depending upon the choosing of this particular phase angle and the chosen between the coil sides angle differences, we will be choosing the number of poles too. A coil consists of two coil sides placed in the separate slots. So next will be the slot pitch. Slot pitch is a it is a phase angle between the two adjacent slots. So the in normal full fractional windings, the slot pitch will be equal to the pole pitch. If it is not, then it is going to be a fractional pitch. So the full pitch or the short pitch windings are going to be, the full pitch winding is going to be, if a coil span is going to be equal to the pole pitch, then it is going to be full pitch winding. So this will be like this. So one slot will be here, another slot will be after n plus 1. So the difference between this particular angle is going to be 180-degree electrical. So whenever we are having this kind of calculation, the number of slats between this particular coil side and the next coil side will be calculated from the number of slats per pole. And if it is going to be the case, then the EMF of this particular coil side will be E1, and the EMF of this particular coil side will be E2. So these two EMFs will be in phase, so that we can add up this particular EMF of this particular coil sides, so that we will be having the resultant from this particular case. If a coil span is going to be less than the pole pitch, then it is going to be called as short pitch winding. So here you can compare with this particular diagram. So this dotted line will be this particular full pitch winding. So if that particular coil side is less than this particular pole pitch distance, then this particular angle is going to be alpha, then this particular length is going to be 180-degree minus alpha electrical degrees. So this alpha is going to be a short pitch or a chorded angle. So here you will be having this E1 and E2 will be in phase, but this particular alpha is going to have in this particular short pitch winding. So this particular angle is going to be a factor of pitch factor. Okay, so this amount of pitch angle is going to be giving the value of pitch factor. So this is going to be one of the major design factor in case of concentrated windings and the distributed windings too. So the next will be difference between the concentric and the distributed windings, because we have seen that the one of the major classification among this particular concentrated among the windings is going to be a concentric or the distributed windings. So the first diagram will be for the concentric windings. So if you are having any type of windings will be on a same phase angle, so then we will be having this particular windings to be placed on the same slat itself. So we will be having three layers of that particular slat. If it is going to be, then we will be having the EMFs to be added as they are in same phase. So E1 plus E2 plus E3 will be added up to ET1. Okay, so this is going to be a concentric winding. So in the concentric windings, the windings do not have any phase displacement, so that the those particular windings will be in space, they will be in phase, so that the direction of those particular EMFs will be on the same direction, so that the resultant will also be in that direction itself. But if we are going to displace these three particular angles, three particular windings, as we have mentioned here. So if we are having the displacement angle as alpha, then we will be having those particular uh, EMFs will be displaced by this particular alpha, that is going to be a pitch angle. So if this particular EMFs are displaced by this pitch angle, so that we can add up these EMFs, so that we will be having that particular EMF as a resultant of the windings of under a given pole. So this particular EMF will be the resultant of this particular distributed winding. Since we are having this particular displacement of alpha that results into this particular EMF, then if we stretch this particular EMF, this particular coil arrangement along this periphery of this particular stator, then we will be having the angular displacement between these EMFs, so that we can have those particular EMFs to be displaced in space and in time too. So if so that we can get the three phase EMFs which are displaced by 120 degrees. So that can be depicted in this particular diagram. So here you can notice this is first coil, so it will be having one coil side here and another coil side will be here. So we will be having the resultant EMFs along this uh, particular coils. So we will be having those particular coil sides will be displaced by the alpha. So the resultant EMF can be started from, if it is going to be nearer to this between these two uh, these coils. So we can start the next cycle from here, or wherever we are being placed those particular coils in this particular periphery itself, so that this particular distributed windings will be distributed along that particular periphery of the machine, so that we can have that particular displacement in our resultant EMFs too. So advantage of the short corded windings or the corded pitch windings will be given here. The copper is saved. The second one is the mechanical strength is going to be increased and the induced EMF will be increased. So the slat angle is going to be defined as the angular displacement between any two adjacent poles in electrical degrees. So the slat angle beta will be the design factor, which is going to be calculated by 180 degree divided by number of slats per pole. So as we have defined that particular slat angle as an angular displacement between two adjacent poles, so the number of slats per pole under this particular pole pitch will be given by the slat angle beta. So the pitch factor is going to be